Hello. We are back.
Hello.
We've returned. Today, I don't know,
turn of
we're probably going to
coins.
get off topic, but
Oh,
today
totally.
is points. I'm going to talk about points.
Mhm.
I figured we could start with telling people about the kind of attacks we do that we
Oh, yeah.
think... Yeah, just the kind of attacks we do.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off then?
Sure. So this year I've been doing a lot more digital painting because I finally remembered how I used to render. And then I also do, for the weirder attacks I do animation, do VTuber models, live 2D animation. What else? 3D models sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Once, because I don't texture things, but I gave it a valiant attempt. What about you, Clem?
What'd you say, sir?
I said, what about you? What attacks do you do?
It like kind of crunched a little. I do like primarily digital painting. I did that last year as well. But I feel like I've really started this year to like try and focus a lot more on detail rather than getting out stuff faster.
Gosh, my desk.
I have some stuff thrown in here and there. There's stuff that's just like line work, but I do a lot of stuff with like paintings, and a good chunk of mine, I would not say like a third or a fourth, but like I have a good few with like backgrounds and stuff. I tend to just like fuck around, do whatever.
Yeah. So basically, we get mad about points a lot.
Yeah. As you can hear from
I don't know.
us,
What should we talk
painting.
about? Should we maybe talk about like how we, as fifth years, used to see points versus like just like personally, like what are points to you?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start with it. I know for me, it's like I was thinking about this yesterday because I know that this we were going to talk about, and so I was like, I gotta get my thoughts together on it, and I really feel like obviously points aren't like the end all be all of art fight. I think I would like what I would say to young artists is like, don't give a shit about the points unless all you care about in art fight is like being competitive, which for some people that's what's fun and that's fine.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But like if you're just in it for like for drawing for people, then don't look at the points, ignore them. They're non-existent.
Yeah. We're closing your eyes.
I'm closing your eyes because it will demotivate you if you are like susceptible to that, I guess.
I think for me, points have always been a really good way for me to get motivation to do extra, like to go above and beyond. Like I would say the vast majority of art I did this last off season was uncolored, like unshaded, very much just like, except for refs obviously, but I only do those before art fight anyway. But it's like being able to have that extra boost and like feel like you're doing more and the person's getting more is really nice for me, and I'm like, oh, that's worth it, like I'll put in the time to make this a little bit more polished. So that's wwhy I think points are good. Like I like that art fight has points, honestly.
I think it's a cute feature. And it is like a competition.
It's quirky. Yeah, it's literally the whole point of art fight. The fight part.
Send you attack.
I think it's also really funny because I'll look back at old attacks I've done and I'll remember them getting like quote unquote a lot of points, and it like won't be that many.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's really changed in the past year. I think a lot of new artists, I almost want to encourage them to look back at people who have been around for a few years and look back at like Team T or something, and then like see how much like a fully shaded headshot is.
I want to see what
I pulled one up right now.
Oh, you have one up?
Yeah, I just pulled one up.
Let me see what my
half
full
body.
Yeah.
It's a clean drawing, clean color. This isn't a category anymore, but this was single tone shading.
Oh yeah.
No background. I want you to guess, actually.
You want me to guess? No background.
No background, clean drawing, clean color. Had
And
shading, was a half body.
It's a half body.
Yes.
25.
It is 6.12.
What?
Yeah, this was team T.
Oh my god, wait a second. I need to look back. Because I remember getting... Okay, I did a... Oh my god! I did a full body, this clean drawing, clean color, multi-tone shading with a pattern background. And that's 16.8 points.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Okay, to be fair, I feel like, obviously it's all, like, modular, so, like, when you get 6 points for something like that, you're like, wow, 18 is so much more, 16 is so much more. Wait, let me see.
Of course.
Because
back then, it was, like, everything was very few points, but,
yes.
like, things were still, like, worth, I think, basically
no wonder
as much
we got
as
7 million in the first day.
Yeah, you earn a lot of points now.
You earn a lot of points. No, but even in Nightmare, a clean line, clean color, multi-tone scene elements was only 21 points.
Oh yeah. My biggest
wild.
attack in Dream. I'm also gonna make you guess this one.
Yeah.
2 half bodies.
Okay.
6 busts. It was a simple scene, which is not a category anymore.
Oh yeah.
Also multi-tone shading, not a category anymore.
Yeah.
Clean color. The finish was clean sketch, or lineless, because that was when they removed just lined. It was also clean sketch and lineless. Guess how many points? 8 characters.
8 characters?
8 characters, 6 headshots, 2 half bodies.
Okay, if I can cheat a little. On my mass attack that had...
You can cheat a little.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It was a Danganronpa mass attack.
I also had this one is also a Danganronpa mass attack.
This got 400 points. And only 400 points for a 16 character full scene, fully shaded, multi-tone. I think this was multi-tone. No, it was just fully shaded. That was, and it was polished. This was a year with polish.
Oh, this is when they had it polished.
I would say that's like 100.
74.53.
Oh my god. Oh my, they changed. So I feel like to jump off polish, I'm very glad they added polish.
Oh, me too. It is a lovely system.
I wish it gave more.
I do.
Because in the grand scheme of things, getting 10 extra points for something would not be bad.
Right?
Like, I haven't checked. Maybe we should submit one right now and see how much extra polish gives. We could calculate it right now.
Oh yeah.
I would guess it's maybe tops 10%. I'll do that in a sec.
I was gonna say, you do that. I can't do math.
Yeah.
Well, I do. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I appreciate. Like polish being added was pretty nice. No, that's not something I appreciate. I'm trying to think of things I appreciate right now. I like that painting has a category. I think that's.
I don't. Okay, can we talk about this? This is a controversial hot takes time.
But that's
hot takes. Painting.
Why I don't like it.
Okay, we're gonna drop a truth bomb on anyone who doesn't paint. This year, if you don't know, they made painting and clean color the same points, but they left the categories different.
Yeah.
So and it's underneath clean color. So it seems like it gets more points. Which I think it doesn't. Which I think is, honestly, that's one of the things that okay. It's funny because I'm not the most mad about the fact that it doesn't get more points, although I am mad about that. I'm more mad that it's like a different category.
Oh god, yeah.
Because it feels like they're like, oh, haha. And so many people have been like, oh, well, painting's a different category, so that means it gets more points, right? I'm like, no, it doesn't. They just have them as different categories for some reason.
Tricking you.
Yeah, they're tricking you.
I don't think it's supposed to be tricking you, but
I know what it feels like.
Almost feels kind of like it does. It does feel like it. It feels like a rub in the face.
Yeah, it's like oh, you do painting.
You're making it separate. Yeah, you do painting. Go put your painting in the painting category. See how many more points it gets you.
0. That's so funny. That's so funny. That's so funny. I'm gonna submit a random attack on white. It's not gonna be a real attack, but we'll see how much polish gives.
But you wait, no, don't do it on me because we're friendly fire.
Oh, you're right. I'll get another one. I do think that there's some things about the point system that seem a little maybe a little dishonest in some ways.
Yeah, I think definitely painting is up there on that. Painting is a separate category, which is why I only said that I appreciate that it's a separate category, not that I appreciate.
I don't though. Like that's like
worth any more.
No,
like, I would appreciate it if it gave more points, but it doesn't give more points.
Okay, I'm gonna try this with a full body. This is without polish. It is E4, and then with polish it is 92.5. So that is 92.5 minus. Oops. 92.5 minus 8.5. I know this is like a math podcast.
He's a tutor. Yeah. Hey guys, do you know that Damie does math on stream?
Yeah, I do math on stream also. It is 10%. It is 10.119%, which means it's 10%. So I was actually I was right, or maybe it's 11. In somewhere in that.
Somewhere.
I think one of the things that annoys me about we should talk about the things that annoy us about points, because
of course.
I really honestly think that it's good to not care about points, right? Like we should be doing this to give people art.
Absolutely.
But to have the point system in place, I kind of continually come back to this idea where I think, what is the impact of this system? Because I feel like sometimes changes are made to it that feel like it should be evened out, but sometimes those changes don't actually do what they're supposed to in a way. Like for example, the painting thing. When I was doing when multi-tone shading was a thing, which was it meant you had to have 3 colors of shading, 3 or more different colors of shading in your piece. I think it was 3. It pushed me to try and put more like core shadows in my pieces, because I would be like, okay, I have my highlight and I have my main shadow color, and then I would do a second shadow color to get the third thing for multi-tone shading, and that was a really good push to be like, oh, this is worth more, so I can put in this extra effort to try and find a style I like with 3 tones of shading, and that's a good motivator. But I think the idea that the people who are making the point system, I don't want to say like only mods or only staff or only people who talk about it in suggestions or whatever, because there is some influence, I think, that the Discord server has on the rating system.
Yes.
I think that the idea of trying to quote unquote make every style even in the eyes of the point system is kind of hurting the point of the point system in a way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. I mean, we keep talking about painting, but it's
it's really
almost
important.
Like it's like it's basically impossible to like not criticize the point system and then not mention like painting, because like the difference between painting and clean color, and there's nothing wrong with clean color. It's just that
there's nothing wrong.
Painting is like
I clean color all the time.
It is more effort.
Well, and the thing that I think is what the points should be based off of is, the idea of style is separate from the idea of technique, because everyone can do technique in different ways. And painting, for example, painting between us means very different things. The way that I apply color and render is vastly different than your style of painting.
Yeah.
And that's what I think of when I think of, different styles within the points category. Because I think at some point there was something like rough. Was there rough painting?
There was detailed painting and rough painting.
Yes, because that was about whether you had like smooth rendering or not, I think.
Yeah, I remember that was Oh my god, what year was that? I
And
literally just
that might
saw
have
it
been
back
just
then.
tea.
I did
That might
look
have
at it.
been just tea.
I think that was tea,
Because
yeah.
that's a really good example of when something is actually harmful to different people's styles, because
Oh yeah, because sometimes people put a lot of effort into making a painting and it looks more rough, but it still
yeah,
could
or
take
well, I mean,
just as much effort as someone who had a clean one.
I mean, it basically boiled down to, is this smoothly blended or not? And then that's just saying smoothly blended is better than not, and that's not objectively true.
And that's not true at all.
Yeah. And I think that way about a lot of stuff. Like, you know, the whole deal with multi-tone shading is sort of, it's funny because, like, having gone through that era of the fight where it really was, you know, celebrated to have more detail in your shading, just for example. It makes me feel bad just slapping a multiply layer on stuff with one color now. Like, that's not good enough. Like, I'm on the same playing field as people who are putting so much time into their shading. It feels almost like it's cheating to just have one, you know, one purple layer of multiply. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just me personally, I think of that and I remember back to when it was different.
Yeah, like, I don't think anyone should feel bad for putting a multiply layer. I think it's the problem of the point system in general, not like what people are doing, which is what you're getting at.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's easier to game the system now than it used to be, in a strange way.
I was thinking about this because, you know, I told you I was like, thinking about this before. And I was literally like, there is a point in my paintings where they are not rendered and they are just flat colors. And I was thinking about that. Like, there'll be the flat shading, it won't be rendered, it'll just be the blocked out shading and colors. And I would get the same amount of points for that if I just submitted that unfinished painting.
Oh my god, you know what I wanted?
The same amount of points as if I finished it.
You know what we could talk about simple shaped characters, because we were both here for the infamous Wormy Knight.
Oh, the beautiful infamous.
Beautiful, wonderful.
Beautiful.
We should just have that framed in the background of I should put that in the background of the new set that I drew. like on the wall. Photo. I'll do it.
Oh, that'd be pretty funny.
But I think it's kind of funny because
the Joker video too, though.
The Joker video too. I feel like that when I talk about points. But
oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, I really do think that one of the things that Artfight has moved away from, and it's kind of more just because there's a lot of new people, I think, and they get caught up in the whole, like, wow, there's so many cool characters to draw. But, like, there is an intrinsic element of Artfight that's about experimentation and
of course,
exploration, you know.
Yeah, it's like I literally recommend Artfight all the time to people who are like, I need to try, like, I don't know, you'll see people all the time, like in Gen 1 or in like art servers where they're like, oh, I need to practice this, or I want to start doing this, and I'm like, and Artfight is like the perfect place to start doing that. Like, obviously, like, even I was like, obviously there's something I wouldn't do in Artfight, like trying out complex interiors. I feel like I'm like, okay, I can do that, like, outside of this. I can, like, maybe reference things a bit more heavily.
Well, it's funny because, like, for me, when complex scenes or whatever, or scenes gave, like, a lot more points, it really pushed me to put scenes in almost every piece. Like, from, I don't remember, it was the first year I had Clip Studio Paint, so maybe like 2-3 fights ago, so maybe Dream Be Nightmare, I think. But it really pushed me to be motivated to do scenes, because I was, like, ready to get points for that and have fun with that.
Yeah, I do really miss the complex scene while we had it. I think it's a hard balance, because, you know, like, obviously you don't want to discourage people like from their style, but I don't think complex scene and simple scene was ever one of those.
No, I think they said that it was. There's also the funny answer about saying like, oh well, we don't want to make the point system too complex. We don't want to confuse people. Meanwhile, simple shaped and half bodies versus full bodies confuse people every single day in ratings.
It confuses me when I think about it.
Well, it's about the vibes, Clem.
Like, having an arm makes it a full body. I like always forget that. I always have hands.
Wait, does it? Butt. What?
Yes, I'm serious.
Oh
if you look in,
I was gonna say if they have knees, then it's a full body. That's my rule.
Knees
of thumb.
Is a full body. Hands is a half body. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's sense. Like if you draw a bust.
Oh, did I say?
You said a full body. I was like, damn, that's not true. Full body. I think full body should be at the waist. That's my controversial topic for today.
You know what? I can respect that.
Yeah. I feel like I think a lot of things, and I want there to be an episode of this podcast where we talk about different solutions or different implementations we'd like to see in artfight for some of this stuff. But I'd just like to see
one right now. Bring simple scene and complex scene back.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd like to see a tutorial with a couple things. I'd love to see a tutorial with links to browse through like pages upon pages of stuff so that people can see many examples. Maybe like a tag system where the site will let you browse through a certain type of attack. For example, painted attacks.
Yeah.
And a tutorial that has like consistent style throughout it that shows one single or two single, maybe like team A and team B. Because throughout the current rating guide, I think that it can be really hard, at least when I look at it, to see all those different styles in there and be like, what? How does this translate? I wish it was just in one and then had examples linked.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool if it was. Yeah, if it was like that.
I honestly just think there's so much that artfight could be. The amount of people I see coming in and being like, I don't want to read. I'm like, we just need something that is broken up. You know, whether it's a video, whether we could make a video. I don't even care if we're the ones to make a video, a tutorial on it.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of funny. Just Pino in the background.
Oh my gosh.
The official unofficial artfight tutorial from 2 5th years.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think the points are complex at all. I think they're too simple now.
I do too. I think they were too scared of making it seem too daunting that they like failed to realize like the people that do know it now. It's like, this is so simple, and like I feel like they could fix the problem of it being too complex with just an unskippable tutorial or like a video where it goes over the ratings. That just a brief video like, this is what this means, this is what this means.
I personally would love to see a Web 2.0 style tutorial where it's got highlighted boxes over certain things with text in it, almost like a video game where you go through and it takes you through different pages of the site to show you how to upload characters and stuff. Yeah,
that'd be sick.
It would be.
I think that could really help people too. I still see people come in and be like, how do I make a character?
Honestly, there's nothing on the site that tells you how to make characters. I was looking over this stuff.
It doesn't.
And nobody tells you how to rate things unless you go to like the rating guide, but then the rating guide is like split up into like 4 pages that have to load separately, and then the maturity guide is, I don't even know. You have to filter weird stuff. Like you have to filter 5 eyes, but you don't have to filter 6. You have to filter 6 eyes, but you don't have to filter 5 eyes.
Oh yeah.
Just so much, so many tiny.
A lot of things to remember there.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. I mean, then the question of rating within, I feel like we should probably talk about the Discord server rating channel at some point.
Oh yeah.
It's I wish there was some sort of, I don't really know. You know how newspapers have like a style guide? where they're like, oh, for this type of article, whether it's like an editorial or something, you have to use this borders and like this font and this like type point. I wish there was something like that for ratings that was so clear cut, because I really do think certain people give different answers sometimes and it can be very confusing.
Yeah, I think so too. I know that you've gotten different responses about how to rate like animation before.
Can I talk about animation? I was waiting for a segue.
You can talk about animation.
Okay. I am notorious for talking about animation, by the way, in suggestions. If you go back and you look at my history in suggestions, not discuss... Wait, did they delete all the history in suggestions? Maybe it's not existent anymore.
I don't know if they did that.
Oh, there's an announcement. What's the announcement? Oh.
What is it? Oh, it's mod.
Be nice to the mods.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
So we get that. That's good. No, we should be nice to mods. People have been rude to mods a lot lately, though. Anyway, animation is... How do I phrase this in the nicest way possible? It, I think, is disrespectful to the people who animate anything. I've seen beginners, and so here's the thing: is like, I know the tricks. I know that the way that I rate animation, and I've said this so many times, and the mods don't understand it. I'm like, okay, if I can put all of my frames on the same canvas, and I redrew all these characters and upload them in an attack like this, and you can count them as 16 different full bodies, why can I not rate that as an animation attack with 16 unique characters? And I see new users coming in and doing animation attacks, and it's like their first animation attack because they want to try it for artfight, and they get crumbs worth of points on it. And I'm like, it's too much effort. It hurts me worse than painting, because I'll see shaded animations, I'll see colored animations, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so much work. You don't even get any acknowledgement for it.
God.
And I've gotten so many different answers too. It's so funny. I have screenshots of people telling me that, yeah, it's totally okay to upload the characters, you know, individually, if you drew them individually, like every single time you drew them. I have people saying, no, you can't do that. You have to rate it animation. Oh, you only have to put one character per scene. And then, you know, it's like, oh, if I drew, you know, the same scene, but like the different background, however many times do I put them in each time for the scene? Oh no, you only put it in once for the area that they're in, not how many times you drew the background. Like, oh my god, that's the dumbest one. I'm so sorry. I love all of the mods so
pretty
much.
Bad. Because if you think about it, what if one animation is just in one scene, but you drew like 100 frames?
Yes, yeah. An animation with 2 frames can be the same as an animation with like 200 frames.
Yeah.
That is irresponsible.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I've mocked up many plans for like an animation rating pop-up, because I think it would be easier to have it in a pop-up. Also, currently the way that animation is rated is incredibly confusing. I would say. Like, if you go to the... Let me see here. Like, and the fact that the tweened and all this stuff is like just kind of lumped in there with hand drawn is also really hard, because even with tweening, it's like when I do a live 2D attack and I rig something, the work that goes into that is very different than someone rigging a 3D model or tweening like just slides across for PMVs, or I don't know. It's just so makes me go insane.
It's all very different.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know that much about animation, obviously. I'm not a big animator or anything, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it seems like a very incomplete system, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the reason that I get so mad is because I have asked directly multiple times, and pointed out that if I upload, I did this as early as like maybe 2-3 years ago. I pointed out to people, hey, I'm only getting 30% of the points that I would if I uploaded this as a normal attack, or something crazy like that, like absolutely ridiculous. And then have people go, like, when you used to be able to react in suggestions, I would get like, 20 thumbs up or something, and then no one would respond to it on the team. And I was like, guys, please. It just, I think it comes back to the idea of just like, what do we want points to be? Like, we know what points mean to both of us, but like, what do you want points to be personally? What do you think they should like be for Artfight?
What, like how much it should be worth, or just what they should be
like,
in general?
Like, what do you think points should stand for? Like, kind of like the purpose of points, I guess.
I think it's supposed to, encourage you to try new things and reward you for the effort you've put in, like equivalent to how much time you put into it, or just how much effort you put into it, Like, I feel like if you want to try something new, you should be like rewarded for that. Like, what if someone only does like clean color shaded stuff and they want to try painting? They don't get really anything out of it. So, and a lot of people, I'm sure they could be like, well, if they want to try painting, then they'll still do it. But for a lot of new artists,
I did not do that.
One, no. Two, a lot of new artists would probably be discouraged and be like, well, if I could spend the same time like rendering a piece and trying to figure out how painting brushes work, I could just stay in my comfort zone and maybe make 3 attacks during 100%. That time that are all worth more than that one painting.
I think that what I want points to be is more of like, because obviously points at a base level are going to be, for your team, right? But I think that the vast majority of people, when they're saying, oh, I want to support my team, they're just putting out attacks. They're not really caring about like the points, the individual point counts. So I think when we talk about individual point counts, I think that it's very good to just talk about them as like a reward for the artist, like, and basically nothing else, because we've gotten to the point where people haven't been doing mass attacks really in the same way this year. Do you know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean.
Like when we had Wormy Night, and when we had like Strazzy's worm piece, and when we had other things that were just pumped out characters, like really, like actually point, like, I don't remember what they were even called, but like now with the 100 character limit and the simple shaped characters, and the idea that people aren't supposed to gain points, I think that changing the system for those reasons is really not not really as necessary, because I think we've kind of weeded that out. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I see people calling out now is just people uploading attacks early, or misrating stuff.
I don't see as much as just people pumping out like attacks anymore, or just doing something like really low effort for a bunch of points.
I really don't. I mean, I think the only thing I can really think of is like Longest Revenge Chain that usually ends up having that, but that doesn't really, I don't really mind that, because it's usually friends.
That's just like that's just a thing that gets in like the news part.
It's not really anything. But people try.
Like, I don't think they get like extra points or anything.
Oh no, they don't get extra points. They probably get like 1 point per drawing. Which is really sad. I think that I do think though that they got like the general point totals right. I think that when I submit like a headshot that's like colored and it gets me like 25 points, I'm like, yeah, that seems really decent.
That feels right. Yeah,
that feels right. But then I do a full body, fully shaded, fully colored, painted with a background, and it gets me not 100 points. It's like, whoa, where did that come from? I get
disappointed every time. I think
I really do.
There was 2 things. I can't say one thing. If there was 2 things, the moderators came up to me. They were like, "Limited the art fight. We are granting you permission to change exactly 2 things about the point system. 1, I would make paintings worth more,
Yep.
And two, the one that's related to this point, is that I would make painting, full body, scene, the max that you can do for one character. I would make it at least 100 points.
Yeah.
So whenever I've done that before, and then you even with polish, I think you get 92 points.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, you get about 92.
Please.
I know. It's so close too. It's like they're teasing us. They're like, no, you can't get 100 points.
Exactly. Exactly. I bet next year they'll make it exactly 99.
That'd be really funny. I actually have had attacks that gave me 99 in past years, and I was like, oh my god, you guys are awful. Wait, I just want to read one thing because I did find this message. I'm gonna read it out. It said, I don't know exactly how to word this, but I think it would be nice if there's a more specific category for animation if you redrew each frame. Because if I submit all these frames in one drawing, it gives about 23.9-ish points, and submitting it as an animation only gives 9.2 if you put it in the animation category, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh my god.
That is half the points, and the only thing is that you put them on a canvas. I'm literally about to start putting mine in Google Slides and just showing the mods that.
So funny. Honestly, yeah.
And
that's just so discouraging.
I think the only reason it makes me so mad is because genuinely I remember being so motivated to get extra points, and it's not even in a competitive way. It was just I want to see funny number go up, and that makes me brain feel good.
It's really motivating.
It feels good. Not in a I want to get more than somebody else, but it was oh, I can try this new thing and I can get 10 extra points. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's rewarding. You get out of your comfort zone, you get higher number.
Yeah. And then there's the whole thing where it's I don't know, I feel like mass attacks have really been, they feel different this year. And I said that before, but I think they feel different to me because I don't know. When I used to see mass attacks, it would be coming from certain people that I knew were really competitive, and they would do them because they were really competitive. But these days I don't see anyone who I don't see a lot of the team competitiveness. I mean, I see kind of weird unattached point keeping in chat, but then not people saying I just submitted 62 attacks for Bloom, or I just submitted this massive point, go Wither, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't really see that anymore. It's just more oh, go Wither, or the playful, oh, Bloom, it's you suck, guys. It's not
people are spectating their own team fight, but they're in it. And I mean, maybe that part of that is because the points, I don't know, maybe it just doesn't feel like you can make as big of an impact with points anymore, because you really used to get a high range of points. When you had Wormy Night, that was making thousands of points. You did your little full body, you were I gotta step it up, I gotta do a mass attack, that's gonna make a difference. But now it's why don't I just do 10 individual attacks and probably get more somehow?
Gosh. Yeah.
Well, then there's the whole ratio thing as well, where it doesn't count. It's not character counts or anything. So if you do one mass attack that is 100 characters,
but
and you get
it's still one attack.
Yes, just one attack. If you got 75 attacks back from that, let's say 75% of the people attacked you back from that, your ratio would be decimated because you just did.
It would.
You did
and people would be
the effort of 100.
They never attack back, and it's no.
It's no. It's no. Just from my massive mass attack. I wish they had I wish they had more stats. As a funny little numbers guy, I would love to think up some good new stats to look at.
It's really cool.
It would be so neat. It would be cool to do
longest revenge.
Yeah. It would be cool to do I don't know. There's so much stuff. I really wish if I had one I could do. I think characters drawn to characters gotten. So that would cover interacts and mass attacks.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So it's like the second ratio. Although
Cool.
Ratios are also, they're pretty useful for the most part for most users, I would say.
They are, yeah.
Because not a lot of people
one
do.
thing I wanted the other day, I was trying to figure out how many like unique attack I've done versus how many revenges. And I just wished revenges was on there because I had to go through and count which ones were revenges.
Oh no, that's so smart. I wish there was a breakdown of I wish there was like a breakdown of past fights as well.
Gosh.
Like a little graph.
It would be so beautiful.
Or it would be cool, like also like maybe like the top 5 tags you attacked of like characters.
That would be really cool, actually, because I don't pay attention to tags.
Yeah,
that'd be really interesting. Because then I could check out those tags and find
more characters. Or it might be also interesting. People might get mad at this one, but like the average number of points per character you get, like subtracted from backgrounds, so you'd count it as like without backgrounds. But that one's probably not as useful. But it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool.
Or it would be cool if those were like hidden, if there was a hidden stats page. Because right now your stats are out there for everybody.
You just get to see them.
Yeah. I wouldn't want like my revenges out there for everybody to see.
I wouldn't want my revenges out there either. But when I'm trying to find how many revenges I've done, I'm like, I wish this was just a stat. And I think hidden stats would be really good. Or if you could choose which ones are public and hidden.
Honestly, I personally feel like hiding all stats would be a really good move.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's some merit in some times to look at ratio, because for me, when I'm trying to attack people I know on social media that are kind of popular, I usually look at their ratio and I go, well, they have a 30% ratio, so I'm not going to attack them. But I feel like for the most part, they're getting kind of toxic.
I think so too. I think a lot of people put way too much on the line about how the ratio is and stress way too much about the ratio. I think
and newbies too.
And newbies too. It's really sad. I just think if there was a way that you could pick as the user what to display on your profile or not, I think that would maybe like, you know how like Toy House stats work?
No, I don't go in Toy House.
you can like pick and choose like what is displayed or not. I think you can like, let me pull it up right now so I can give a better description.
I think that I don't know. It's really quite hard, because at the end of the day, when I really look at what I like about Artfight, the points are kind of a massive part of that. Because
it's really rewarding.
Kind of going back to the last episode, what we were talking about with like doing Artfight for yourself and, you know, understanding your own art journey, etc. I think that especially if you were to say like it would be really cool to look at, you know, the most common attack. Like if you had a stat that was like, oh, this is the most common type of attack you did over this year, you could see your progress. Like if you didn't do colored acts one year and then you started doing colored, then you started doing painted, or you started doing animation, or you started doing, you know, 3D models or crafts or something, that would be really cool to look at, because it's about like the points to me are just, a lot of people say, oh, don't look at them, don't worry about them, like you don't need to be competitive, but it's kind of not about the competition. It's kind of just about feeling like someone cares about it at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And just like,
yeah, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like points are like being seen for what you've done. If that makes sense. It's
kind of like, even if you don't get a comment, which I would like to put out here, you can check Clem and I's profiles. If you look at our attacks that we do, I can tell you I don't get a lot of revenges. I don't get a lot of comments. I get maybe half my attacks are commented on. And I know that like probably about 75% by like the end of August will be commented on, because people come back and do comments. But if you're not getting comments, or if you're not getting revenges, just know that like I've got like a lot of Artfight followers. I've got like, here, I'll be honest, I have like I think 600 plus.
Nice.
And not to flex, but I'm just saying, like, even if you are a popular artist, quote unquote, or you've been on the site for a while, it is normal to not get attacks or revenges or comments. It's just, that's, you know, it's about what people can do. I know I take a while to comment.
I do too. I take forever, I'll be honest. And I've even taken longer because I broke the S key on my computer.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's really hard. But yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't have as many as you. I have almost 400, and I can definitely say most of the unique attack I do, just someone random, someone I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think most of them have gotten a revenge. And I think a few maybe don't have comments, and that's fine. I do not care. I think that it is the most normal thing in the world to not receive comments. Because there's a lot of reasons why people don't comment. Like, you know, it can be nervous. They might... I've seen this before, actually, on some people's profiles who, like, don't reply to attacks. And it's because they don't have the time to reply to all of them.
Oh, actually so based, yeah.
Yeah, and so they don't want to just reply to one, because then it's like, what about the people who you didn't comment?
Yeah, it was so funny. Ray attacked me, and in the private description, I'm gonna call Ray out, but they were like, I wanted to comment on your attack, but I couldn't because I would feel bad about not commenting on the ones before it.
Yeah,
and exactly. I do that too.
And that's fine. I go in order too. Even for my friends, I'm not gonna skip the line. I'm gonna go in order.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do if it's a chain, and I'm only commenting like bark bark woof woof grr snarl. That makes sense. Then I skip it. But if it's anything big, then I leave it.
Yeah, I get it.
Were we talking about points? Yeah.
We were talking about points, and then we went to comments.
No, but this is what I was gonna say. Like, at the end of the day, the points are going to be the only thing you come out with if you don't get other stuff. It's like the staff giving you like a little kiss. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
And lately, I feel like it's been less of a, hey, I see your work, good job for your work, and more of, hey, you should do more attacks, not more complex ones.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what it's pushing people towards.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that.
Sadly.
Even though it pains me to say it. But yeah, like, if I wanted to, I could not paint any of my attacks. I could just leave them at where my... Okay, I say halfway point, but really the other half is painting. But for me, it is the halfway point.
Yeah.
I could leave it at the halfway point where I haven't painted at all, but I blocked in my shading, and I would get the same amount of points as if it was fully painted. So
think about it this way: if I can
going forward, I'm gonna do only that, and I'm gonna pump out 5 attacks a day.
That's crazy. If I can do a colored bust and get 16 points for it. If I do 5 of those, just colored busts, that's already more than a full body, full shaded, painted, full scene.
Yeah.
And that's time that is so much less time.
Yeah, exactly. It really feels like the shift has turned from... Because I know that the main point why points were and categories were merged or points lessened was because they wanted people to be on an even playing field regardless of style, which I do think that sentiment should hold true for a lot of artfight. I don't think that people with I'm trying to think. I can't think of an example, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that one person's like, I don't think someone's like, if they have like a clean Twitter anime artist style.
Oh yes.
I don't think that they should be like favored, because I think a lot of people like that art style. I don't think they should be favored over someone who has maybe a like clean sketch, still shaded, maybe more of a like a cartoonish style, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I don't think like it should be favorite point-wise, being like, yes, we love your detailed anime art. No opposite. I think it should be like about the points and the effort they put in.
Yeah, so
But
I think personally, if I were to snap my fingers and make a magical art fight system that would work, I think that if there was some way where users could define what their average was for like, or maybe like, for example, maybe like for the first week, you do a certain amount of attacks and then the game adjusts itself to give you the points for certain attacks that might take you longer. So you would like say like, oh, I worked 10 hours on this piece, and it'd be like, oh wow, so you should get this many more points for it. And obviously that's, I mean, maybe AI. With AI that might be possible. If I thought about it really hard, I could probably think of a way that would work. But but yeah, there's not a lot of way to show how much time something takes, right? Because I can rig a model for live 2D in 2 hours, let's say, a simple one with not a lot of function. Also, the live 2D stuff is BS because, okay, wait, let me switch tracks. You can put one rotation deformer on the head, one rotation deformer on each arm, and put one warp deformer on the body and one warp deformer on the head as well, and you can rate that the same as like a fully rigged model.
Oh gosh.
And that takes like 10 minutes. Anyway,
oh my god.
well, like, it takes me like 2 hours. It could take another person the whole fight to rig, you know, something. If it's their first model. And there's no real way of saying, oh hey, should we nerf this person who can rig versus should we give this other person more points? And I think they're kind of moving towards we should nerf the people who can rig, but in that case, the people who are taking more time on it aren't getting more points.
Exactly.
And they are the ones who deserve the points. I don't really care if people... you know, in the end, I don't care if people cheat the game. What are we drawing? Worms here? Who cares? Nobody cares about who wins. Okay, maybe some people care about who wins, but
some people care.
I feel like it's actually less and less. I feel like the team spirit is not the same.
I do think the mentality has changed over the years.
I think it's
because I think some people still care about it.
No, some people definitely still care about it.
Yeah, like you've seen Gen 1 when Bloom was 1 point behind.
No, but oh my god, if during Sugar v Spice and Sugar was 1 point behind, you know how insane that chat would have been at that point.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh wait, maybe you would. Okay, during Cyber v Steam, if Cyber had been 1 point like ahead, people would have been going insane. Now it's just like, oh, people going, oh, Bloom is 1 point in the lead. I'm like, you know, that's like the closest any game has ever been, and we have the most users ever this year.
They don't know that though.
They don't know that.
They don't know that because it's most likely their first or second year.
It's crazy to me though. But I feel like a lot of the people who I see as the most competitive have gotten to the point where they get jobs and they're, you know, working, and so they can't play. And the new generation of art fight people don't really have, like, because when it was smaller, new people would join and they would be acclimated to it because it was so homogenous at that point. I feel like that people would pick up the vibes, but now it's like there's so many new people that it's becoming non-homogenous and everybody doesn't really know what's going on.
The new people's vibe, and then the old people still have their vibe. There's a bunch of vibes going on. And it's kind of interesting to see, I'll be honest. But
oh no, I could probably write an essay about art fight, multiple essays.
I feel like I could too. I could write about when my beautiful art fight came to my home and broke my drawing tablet and told me to never complain about paintings ever.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I was gonna say a disclaimer. We love the mods. We love the staff. We get it. It's hard.
It's hard. And it's not all in your control. I don't think you should be mean to the moderators. I don't think you should be mean to the support team. It's not like their fault, obviously, that
if you're gonna say anything, say it in a a private place and express your emotions to people who will help you work through them. We're still coping hard, which is why we're talking about it now.
We are coping so hard.
We're coping so hard. I feel like this is completely unrelated, but I wanted to talk about this because I've been thinking about it. This year has felt incredibly weird to me.
It's been kind of weird.
And I think part of it is because, so I made the decision this year, as I think maybe you also did, where I wasn't gonna guarantee revenges.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't gonna match effort for effort, which is crazy for me because I was doing that for 4 years. It's the first year I've been doing it. And it doesn't feel as, there's something that doesn't feel as satisfying about the fight. And maybe that's because my list of people to draw was like, I know a lot more people, so I was drawing for people that I knew, and so it didn't really feel as art fighty because I was just doing art for people I knew. Or maybe it's because the points make me feel sad. Or maybe because I don't know what it is, but I
think for me it's that when I was beginning Artfight, I felt like I was really encouraged, and the site really pushes you to try things that you wouldn't try before.
That's what I love about it.
Especially as a newer artist. And I still think of myself as I wouldn't think of myself as like an expert artist. I think I'm still learning things all the time, and I still want to push myself to do things new. So I feel like now, like we've talked about this whole podcast, to be honest, I don't think Artfight really encourages you to explore as much as it used to. I really think that it encourages you to just make more rather than
that it's unintentional. I really feel like the system has been trying to make itself more of almost in the same way that I see people like trying to brand themselves, but I see it trying to like water itself down and make it more quote unquote like accessible to people. And in that process, I think we're taking 2 steps backward to hopefully move 3 steps forward at some point. But
I hope so too.
It kind of sucks to be back here because while it did really suck beforehand to see people draw worms that took them like 2 seconds to draw and get 6,000 points from it, you would still get rewarded with like, you know, relatively large things for like full scenes, shaded stuff.
Like it sucked to see the ones that were being pumped out, but I felt like I still got rewarded a lot.
Also, the ones that honestly, some of those mass attacks were so funny, and I didn't even care. I saw Worm Night, I was like, this is an incredibly creative idea. This is so awesome.
I do not actually hate Worm Night.
I love it.
I love the attack. I think it was very high effort. It's like, we've been talking about the ones that were just sort of pumped out. Wormy Night was not one that was pumped out. I want everyone.
Although I will say though that like I'm glad they put the character cap on, because counting that stuff for the mods is really awful. But then again, like I don't know, it makes me feel weird that they don't have a cap on animation then or something, because hypothetically, like I don't know, I think about it and I'm like, if a person redraws a character 100 times in an animation, or when I would submit, I submitted a kind of like a short film with some of these characters, very short. It was like maybe 15 seconds. But I was thinking, because I do like wobble frames. I don't really know if you know what that means, but it means that I don't try and cut parts of the character out and reuse them if that part of the character isn't moving. I'll redraw the whole character so it kind of looks like it's wobbling, even in shots that have no motion. And I was looking at this, I was like, if I was trying to rate this and I hadn't drawn this, would I be able to tell how many frames are in this? And I was kind of thinking no, I wouldn't, which would be a problem for people trying to rate stuff. But I don't think the mods really look that closely at every single animation unless they're very high point animations. So
it's just Yeah, I can't really, like I said, I can't really add
Yeah.
much to it. But I do agree with a lot of the points you say. I think like animation in general just needs a lot more
Yeah,
fixing,
it
and I
makes me
think they need to consult people who do.
like the baseline is that I really enjoyed Artfight as a place to do animation because it gave me the chance to do loops, like small things that I normally wouldn't really do because they didn't interest me. Or for this year, like the multi-animator thing we were doing is so fun. It's so awesome. I loved doing that.
Yeah.
But it so intensely discouraged me from it's like it's kind of like friendly fire, but it's not even friendly fire. It's on every single attack you do ever.
Yeah.
And you can see that you should be getting more points based on the system. But you're like, what? Why what are you giving that?
Yeah, oh my gosh, friendly fire.
Oh, you want to talk about friendly fire? Do you have opinions?
My opinion is that I do not care if it's worth less, but I don't think it should be worth as little as it is. Because I need to pull up this attack.
Okay, my opinion on friendly fire.
Like screamed, tried, threw it up about it.
My opinion on friendly fire is that I literally will always multiply the points by 5 because I know that that's what I'm supposed to be getting. It makes me more annoyed when I'll do something like a painting and there's literally no space in the system to figure out how many points I should be getting for it. Maybe we should just make our own system, Clem. Maybe we should put a thing in that like rates people's attacks for them.
That would be pretty cute.
That might be cute.
I would like that.
The unofficial Artfight rater.
I found my attack that I am always coping over very, very hard. It was Okay, I will send it to you. I want the audience to play along. I think you guys should guess how many points this attack got. You don't have to pull up the image. I'll just describe it.
No, I want to pull it up.
Full body. Okay, you can pull it up.
Because it's really good.
Just tell me when it's pulled up, because you didn't share your screen.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm calling
we'll
you.
do that next time. We'll do it right now.
Okay, thank you.
I forgot that I did that the last time. Here's random image. Oh, this is Clem's, by the way. Clem's epic painting. That one deserves to be there. That's Giuseppe Pino.
There's Giuseppe Pino in the background.
Oh, it's really large.
It's really big.
Clem just did a picture of a moon actually and tried to submit this for points. I'm kidding.
Yeah, and the moderators didn't like that. I don't know why.
They said it was unbased and sad pilled. This is the attack.
Okay, yeah.
Also, I love your watermark.
Thank you. I love it too.
I should start doing that.
It's really fun
to put on every attack.
I really wanted a vertical one that was really cute. So this was an attack. It was as you can see, it's full body. I rated this as clean sketch /line/lineless. It's a painting, obviously. It's fully shaded, obviously. And I count it as a scene. I'm counting it as a scene because I drew a whole goat. I drew a whole goat, yeah. Clouds.
And a whole background
and
and foreground.
Yeah. And
so should I guess? Oh, did you polish it?
You should guess. I did polish it.
I am gonna guess it was 92 points.
That would be correct.
Oh my god, it was friendly fire. Wait a second, wait. Let me do the math.
18.5.
Oh god. Okay, here's the thing I don't get about friendly fire. Like, I get that it's a team game, right? But if the point system is meant to encourage you doing things, and you're discouraging friendly fire, then you're saying, here's half the site. Don't attack them. Don't give them art. You don't like them. We don't want you to give them art. Because we're gonna give you less points for it.
I feel like the objective of Artfight has changed, and I feel like they need to change friendly fire to like reflect that. I feel like because now it's not as competitive. I feel like it would be way more fun to just have a complete rating revamp and a complete like get rid of friendly fire, add new mechanics. I think so too. That'd be awesome. Like, I don't know, make some like power-ups or something. Make it so I can freeze a user again in time. Make them wait 10 minutes. Revenge you and they can't attack you.
Oh, that'd be so funny. Wait, that would actually be really funny.
That would actually be really funny, although I don't know if Fish would actually ever add.
No, I would never. That'd be. They can't revenge you. That would be evil. People would so misuse. No, but okay. Here's the thing, though. Like, okay, about points. People don't know about this. I was in the Spice server for the Spice Mafia, which was I participated in one. I could bring up the one that I did. The Spice Mafia was an idea that someone came up with, which was you would be split into groups of 10 to 15 people, if I remember correctly, and they would randomly pull a character from the site, and everyone would attack that character. It sounds really good. It would be on the opposite team. It sounds like really good, like in theory, because that person gets a lot of art. But the problem is people's ratios would be decimated, like impossible to come back from, because it's like winning featured character, but you have to revenge every character. Oh god, not that many, but like
now I see why that's.
But like no one's tried to pull that kind of stuff anymore. That was Wait, was that 3 years ago? No, 2 years ago. And nothing like that, nothing on Cyber was close to that. To be fair, I wasn't in the Cyber server, but like, there wasn't anything like that. And then there was Pentakill for Dream and Nightmare, but that was just like 5 users who had big points. But they had names. They had like, it was almost like they were the mob, you know, like they had like the tough guy gang. Like Pentakill. Oh, we named ourselves after a League of Legends.
That's what we need to Starfield into.
Yeah. Yeah. Except we don't do any attacks.
We just comment on their page and tell them that they have really good art characters.
We could make like custom jackets. Say Starfy.
That'd be pretty cute.
There is like no popular, I don't know, there's no like clicks anymore though. Because Pentakill was like, it was Sixbane and other people.
I kind of want to say good.
No, I think it's good. But
it is nice to like have things that are recognized.
I do wish people had groups that they kind of formed. Like, and maybe it's because the people don't think you can mention any server name ever because of the new server rule, but
maybe.
I feel like, I mean, we talked about this a little bit last time, but like, people still throw some names around, but it's very few and far between. The only people I know, well, I'm not going to call them out, but the person I made that model for, the Life 2D one, like that group of people is still kind of like, but they're not even like, nobody's like chat famous, except for maybe artfight.net/clockvine, but they used to be more popular. I don't know. It's
You're
strange.
like mildly chat famous, I think.
Me? Yeah, maybe.
I think so. Well, I've seen people go like, "Oh, I need to draw a Damie character." And
wait, really?
Like, oh, I have a Damie character bookmark. Yeah, you were in chat for that. You didn't read.
Wait, what? Wait, when? What? When did they say
that? Was like a few days ago.
What? Oh wait, was that a person I knew? That might have been a person I knew.
Well, maybe, but then someone else replied that they had a Damie character bookmark.
What?
And I don't think you knew. I know.
What the hell? Oh, I just tried to search my name and it came up with characters who are named Damien.
Oh.
Wait. Anyway. Yeah, I think
that was real.
I think they should hire us to revamp the point system.
I think so too. Mods, if you're listening to this, please pay me in Minecraft Diamond.
I'm gonna give everybody 1 more billion points. Every attack.
Please.
I'm actually pretty good at making up attack numbers. If you send me an attack,
I'm worse at it than you are.
If you send me an attack, I will vibe check you for points.
Me too. I'll do a worse job than Damie. So maybe send it to Damie first.
I'm gonna make something that's a fake artfight raider. I think that's a really funny idea.
Yeah, like a little website, and you can put in what your attack was. And you'll be like, this is the Damie rating.
This is the Damie rating. This is the Damie points. You get a gold star You use
The
it.
gaslighting machine.
We should just, oh my god, that's perfect. The gaslighting machine. I'll do it. I'll link it in the description once I make it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny.
What should we close with? Do we have a TLDR?
TLDR. Fuck points. Revamp the system.
Make brain happy. Please give more,
happy.
but don't give too much more.
Yeah, give a fair amount more.
Let us add vibes into the. Wait a second. I need to say my brilliant, beautiful points idea. It's you have a certain amount of slots in your profile that you can drop attacks into, and they will give you like 5. The first one will give you like a 5 times multiplier, then the next one will give you like a 4 times multiplier, and like however many attacks, it'll be like, oh, a quarter of your attacks you can give multipliers to, but there'll be a cap. So if somebody like Sixbane does it, then like they won't get like 5,000 times multiplier.
Yeah, of course.
And you also don't have to fill all of them. So if you're Sixbane and you don't want to fill all of them, then you can put in like your best favorites into your top 5, and then not fill any more. Hire me, mods.
Yeah, and hire me too. I'm emotional support.
Yeah, Clem's my emotional support popcat. We're a pair.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't.
You gotta apply. Have you applied for mod, Clem?
I haven't.
Top secret information.
I
feel like
I haven't applied for mod. Maybe when I'm like 18 or something.
Oh, I forgot you're young.
I
literally wanted to be a mod I wanted to be a mod ever since I joined Artfight. It's so funny. We should talk about that when we interview a mod, though. We'll talk about mods later.
Oh, like applying for mod.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, we're gonna get a mod on.
We will. We have contacts.
To spoiler it, but their name begins with R, and then no, it doesn't. And then
we're actually gonna get the creator of Artfight on. I know them personally. They actually follow me on Artfight, so that's not a lie. They do.
Yeah, you can go check that.
I watched their stream when they only had 3 concurrent viewers, so I'm kind of their best friend. Not
to brag either, but me and Rainy actually DM a lot. We play Fortnite together.
You play Fortnite on your Epic Games console that you have on pre-release.
Yeah. It's the you know how there's the Steam Deck?
Yeah, I know that one.
It's yeah, you know that one. It's the well, I don't want to spoil our names, but it's currently what is the company called? It's big. It's the
Okay, Clem's ruined our chances of a sponsorship with Epic. Sorry, guys.
No!
Leaked
Epic
the
Games...
new console.
No, Epic Games... I didn't say the name, it's okay.
You didn't say the name.
I didn't say it yet. Epic Games, if you're out there, please
sponsor us. Does Epic Games sponsor people?
No,
can they sponsor the points?
So. I think they'll sponsor you for the games. Like I've seen Fortnite sponsored, but I've never seen just Epic Games sponsored.
Can we get Artfight points that are sponsored by certain companies, so you can get like Monster points or you can get like Amazon points?
I will draw the Bang logo. I'll draw every character with a Bang energy.
Oh my god, yeah.
TikTok that gets sponsored by Bang.
Yeah, you should be able to get sponsored by like Manscaped and then like draw every character holding a razor or a banana or something.
You draw them holding a razor and they have like beautifully sculpted beards.
Dollar Shave. You sponsored by Honey and they're just like eating honey. Oh my god, this is Artfight. Artfight, you'll get so much money, I promise.
Artfight, think about it.
Think about it. We're here. We're business. We know stocks and the stock market.
Not to brag, but I'm CEO of big business.
Damn.
And I'm CEO of stock market.
And I'm CEO of Big Pharma. Except I hate biology, so that's why Big Pharma sucks so much. I'm CEO of Big Artfight, guys.
No way.
You listen to the end of the podcast, so you get to hear that sneak preview where I acquire Artfight, I buy it, like Elon Musk bought Twitter. He did not buy Twitter, but like if he actually bought Twitter. That's me with Artfight.
That's you with Artfight, and he'll put your name all over it, and you'll be like, Damie.
Yeah, you'll like Damie fight.
Damie fight. And everyone draws not for you.
No, yeah, no one can draw for me. My account is actually locked. And everybody gets everybody gets spells. I'm introducing in the new Artfight, there's spells that you can cast. You can spend your points to cast spells on other users.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cute.
Yeah,
and the points... I think one of the ones that you should cast could be that their whole website is upside down.
That would be a really good one. Or that like you have to switch their Artfight to light mode for a day.
Oh my gosh.
I use light mode and that would not work on me.
Well, it could swap you to
dark mode, yeah.
If you were on light mode. It would swap the... No, it can't make the text low contrast. That'd be inaccessible. It would...
It actually deletes your Artfight user.
you every 10 seconds.
Yeah, we want to kill our Artfight user. We should talk about Artfight spells on the next episode as well as that thing we're planning. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, totally.
We should make up some.
Yeah, I'll make a doc. I can screen. I know it's great.
Okay, we'll collect. I will start collecting some of that stuff. Okay, goodbye podcast. We love you all. Go drink some water.
Podcast.
Don't attack us.
Attack the people on our profiles.
Yeah, attack the people on our profiles, not us. But don't attack Girth or Wiki. And maybe not Manta.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
Oh yeah.
They don't want attacks either. Okay, bye everybody.